the quotes was keep on increasing. Our heart was beating like anything because we are just a small business. Earnings will not be that much great. Maybe big company, it is easy, but for us, it is not. So at that time, I think it was almost going to 100 to 100K we were estimated. And still we decided let's move on because this is a critical certification that is needed. And always in the back of our mind, we are moving forward. What is the situation of small businesses that cannot do it? Why government is doing like this? Is there any other way? That's where you showed us another light, another path, ATX Defense, and that was a breakthrough. That is almost like 1/3 of the cost.
Welcome to the CMMC Proof podcast. I'm your host, Derrich Phillips. I'm a lead CMMC certified assessor, quite the tongue twister. And I'm thrilled today because I'm joined by the leadership team of Quadyster. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good, Derrich.
Doing good.
I'm looking very sharp. I feel underdressed. Wish I had my blazer on. So at least I have a collar on, so it won't be as bad. So it's been 2 weeks now since the press conference about your CMMC Level 2 certification?
Yeah.
Cool. Got a chance to meet you all in person and visit Iowa for the first time. I was excited about that. Today, we just really want to talk about your journey at CMMC. If you want to start off first, tell us a little bit about Quadyster.
Yeah. Thanks, Derrich. Thanks for this opportunity and I appreciate your time. We really enjoyed when visited us. We got good food and really enjoyed talking to you. And what are our next steps? Everything really went well. The whole day you spent with us is really appreciated. About the Quadyster, we started our business in 2006. And when we are just started our business and we are trying to find out how do we provide our IT services to the clientele. And we found is John Deere is one of our Fortune 100 company. We started partnership with them. And also next to us is one of the biggest Army center is Arsenal. How do we collaborate with them? How do we have the partnership with them? Now, that require us to learn a different dimensional aspect, that require us to do the government contracting. That is a completely different aspect. Now we are trying to learn. Then we met ISU, the CIRAS staff, and especially Melissa. He helped us and connected to the right people from their organization who gave some thorough training to us. What is the bidding process and what are the certifications required to do the business and things like that. And we learned a lot from that. From that point onwards, we put our efforts to get that SBA 8A certification. Then we got onto that GSA Mass, the 2 cents on the schedule. And then we got that STARS 3 and we started winning government contracts. And as of now, 300 plus contracts we won.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And last 2 years, we're talking about how do we expand into the DoD space. We learned about CMMC. And thank you, Derrich. We met you in one of that presentation through ISU, through CIRAS. And you gave very thorough insights about the program. And also you taught us that what are the benefits, why we need to have the CMMC, especially level 2 certification. We learned a lot from you. Then we want to continue our partnership with you. And you help us and connect to the right people. And you stayed with us all the journey along with us until we achieve this. So appreciate it. And that's it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So I'm curious. So CBL, Biju, once Harry first mentioned that you're all going to pursue CMMC certification, what were your thoughts? What did you think about it?
Derrich, thanks for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. Prior to coming to CMMC certification, I was involved in any organization level certifications in the past. HIPAA was there, PCI, DSS, certification. One of the scariest part on all these certifications are the amount of documentations we need to do, a number of documentations we need to create. That was something in our mind when we were talking about certification, how many more documents we need to generate. That's when you came on board and walked us through this process and all that. Because of your assistance and also other partners involved in this process, it was such a smooth journey. We were not even getting overwhelmed with all these documentations and all that. Either things were already in place, we could leverage that, or the partners helped us in providing some of that documentation. Your leadership helped us a lot in this journey. That's what I always think about, how smooth this journey was.
Definitely appreciate it. And you're absolutely right. A lot of people, what scares them about CMMC, and rightfully so, is the documentation. There could be lots of documentation from the system security plan, policies, procedures, just a lot of acronyms. It's like learning a new language. How did you navigate that? I know CBL, you and I are a lot of times interfacing, you're leading the initiative. What were your thoughts when you first embarked on this journey? What were some of your fears regarding CMMC?
Oh, yeah. That's when Melissa connected you. I think it's fortunate to have you on board for training to train us. When we started the training, day by day, a lot of documentation are coming out, right? We have 110 controls and so much documentation. And you showed us you have to prepare 300 to 400 page document for creating this one and for CMMC. That is one of the documents. There are a lot more documents we need to create. So day by day, the complexity was increasing. So that's where we thought, what should we do? Is it going to end in a year, 6 months, or what is the time frame? Because putting our time also aside to just dedicating to this is also not that easy because of so many other projects going on. So
we all have day jobs.
Day jobs, yes. That's where I think thanks to Melissa connecting to you from SU, and you guided us, and thanks to you once again, as Hari and Biju are mentioning, you connected us to the ATX Defense. That changed the actual entire spectrum of what we are going to do.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a big focus of what we talk about today, but certainly big shout out to Melissa Durant from Iowa State University, Sirius. Yeah, they're doing great work, and it's one of our Aspire Cyber strategic partners. And she gave us the platform to deliver CMMC training because she knew that a lot of small businesses were trying to figure it out. And there's so much just confusing information out there, conflicting information. Things were changing regularly. It was really great partnering with her to deliver this training. Now, Harry, for a lot of small businesses deciding to pursue a CMMC Level 2 certification, it's a big business decision. They have to determine if it's going to be worth that return on investment. As the founder, president of Quadyster, how did you make that determination that it would be worth the pursuit CMMC Level 2 certified?
Yes. First, we thought, being an IT company, we thought we can work internally and come up with the plan for the controls, planning and implementing those controls. We can do it, but that is a different dimension. So as Biju and CBL mentioned, that the lot of time you got to spend it, but you got to do your regular job, and it's need special skills and it require full dedication to do it. Being a small business, we thought we may not able to afford that. And by spending the time completely learning the compliance and cost-wise, to implementation, the cost, we thought is very substantial costs involved. Being a small business, it's not possible for us to do it.
Right.
Then we really struggling, and how do we do it? And because if we want to continue our partnership with DoD, it is mandatory, then we are going to miss a lot of good opportunities. But at the same time, completing this is a challenge. It's a very intense and time and cost. How do we achieve it? So that's what you are there And I'm telling every small business, it's not anymore nightmare. Please work with Derrich, and he can help you, he can point you, he can guide you, and he can stay along with you for all the journey to achieve it. And it will be almost 50% cost reduction, more than 50% cost reduction solution. Derrich can provide it and help you. So I think that gave us the confidence after talking to you and understanding the whole process. And after introduction to ATX Defense, and we decided to move forward. And not only that, we came to know that through ISU and SIRAS, there are some funding opportunities also available.
Right.
I think it's a good start of talking with Derrich, then connecting to SIRAS and Melissa and their team can help you to get some funding, which is available for small businesses, and they can utilize this funding. And also, your guidance can make it happen. That is what today we achieved it. So it's almost a few months back, we thought it's impossible. We may have to wait. We got to postpone the certification, but that thing is turned around. Now we want to do it, and we get it done in a month.
Yeah.
That is another thing, Yeah. This is unbelievable. It's achieving this with the 1/3 of the cost and 1/10 of the time. Achieving this certification is unimaginable, but without all your support, we wouldn't have got it. So I say that it's all the small businesses. My advice is this is the great team members, great team players. You have partnership with them, and you can achieve the success.
Quadyster serves as a good model for small businesses where you seeked out those resources and those strategic partners, starting with Cirrus, going through the training and looking at all the support they offer. And then from there, you were able to get access to their network, and it just kind of trickled out from there. And that's a really good model for other small businesses. It's not going to just happen through osmosis or hoping. You all show up to all of the Cirrus training, and you ask questions, and you're really engaging and interactive and intentional about how you're spending your time. So I think that's really important. Now, take us back to once y'all determined that, okay, you partner with Aspire Cyber, we're going to provide the consulting to get you through the CMMC requirements. And at that time, I was saying, okay, pretty much industry standard is saying it's going to take 9 to 12 months on average to do this. And this is before we knew about ATX. So I was introducing you all to other providers like Microsoft GCC High, MSPs, Prevail, and talk to us about some of the type of quotes that you all receiving. You don't got to mention the companies, but just kind of the numbers that you're getting as far as quotes for having the CMMC compliant cloud solution that you can use to get compliant.
Yeah, CBL did a lot of research, and he scheduled the calls, talking to our partners, and he deep dive into it, and he got a thorough understanding. And CBL, can you tell some of the partners? And
Sure, Hari. In that aspect also, Derrich, you connected to several of, I'll call it as a traditional CMMC way.
Yeah, exactly.
The way where we get all. See, one thing we saw, as Hari mentioned and Biju mentioned also, we don't know, because more and more we connect to these guys. Like we want email. We are using Microsoft 365, where they told that it is not acceptable. So you have to go to GCC High. So the charge was too heavy, and that also it is a yearly. We need to renew that and all just for 3 users. There's a lot of cost they're telling. And that is independent environment. Again, we have to go for environment creation. This is only for email. The quotes was keep on increasing. Our heart was beating like anything, because we are just a small business, and we're earnings will not be that much great. Maybe big company, it is easy, but for us, it is not. So at that time, I think it was almost going to 100 to 100K we were estimated. And we decided, let's move on, because this is a critical certification that is needed. And always in the back of our mind, we are moving forward. What is the situation of small businesses that cannot do it. Why government is doing like this? Is there any other way? That's where you showed us another light, another path, ATX Defense. And that was a breakthrough. That is almost like 1/3 of the cost.
Yeah. So, and your accounts is the same thing. A lot of my other clients have experienced small businesses where when they were looking at their traditional CMMC solutions, it was easily exceeding 100,000, 150,000 for just a handful of users. Like, whoa, like what small business can afford that? And at the time, I wasn't aware of any other solution. It's like, okay, you can either do it on premise and host everything yourself, but that's going to be expensive, or you can do it in the cloud. And at the time, I was just mostly familiar with the Microsoft GCC, GCC High, Prevail, and so forth. But it was a chance encounter that I was doing some work for my nonprofit, the CMMC Professionals Network, and I had interviewed an executive from Google on the podcast. And then afterwards, he introduced me to a man by the name of Zach Walker, the co-founder of ATX Defense. I had never heard of ATX before. Once I started learning more about him, I was like, hey, Zach, can you come on the podcast like y'all are today on the podcast? At that point, they had just had a client go through a level 2 certification assessment on a month-to-month contract, and they were able to pass their first month. So $1,500 in 1 month. And my mind was just blown. I'm like, wait a minute. It's supposed to be $150,000, not $1,500. So literally once I did my research at ATX Defense, they are a CMMC third-party assessment organization, C3PO. And Zach, he just recently retired from the Air Force Reserve. So I did my research on it to make sure they were legit. It was a real business. And once I did that, my mind was just blown. I was like, okay, I have to tell all of my clients right away. It was an easy decision for me because I knew, even though as far as on the consulting side, I was going to be losing money because it's nothing for me to do with their solution because it's 100% managed. But the cost savings was just so disruptive and significant. I was like, this is going to be really groundbreaking for small businesses in this industrial base. Literally, I contacted you all the same day, like, hey, hold off on signing that Microsoft GCC High contract or anything you're going to do. Look into ATX. They're legit. And I think this may be a good solution for you. And just to caveat that, with their solution, it is ideal for organizations that only have digital CUI, not physical. You have physical CUI, then that's not complicated. But I knew you all fit that bill and had other clients that fit that bill. Once I presented that to you, what were your thoughts about ATX when you first heard about it? Was it kind of shocking, or like, is this real or too good to be true?
No, actually, the moment you told, I went through that website and I see it is not a traditional way. They just put everything transparent. That one thing, it was shocked me. They put, this is the price, and that's all the price will be charged. Because a lot of websites, they will tell the charge is different, but the moment you start digging into that, they just tell, no, that will be added, this will be added, and all. These guys,
a lot of add-ons. Yeah.
That's all it is. Then we came back to you, and is it real? Is it true? We realized that it's correct, and we confirmed, and now it is a reality right now. That is the one.
Yeah.
So they're very good, and also their support, ATX support is pretty fast. Zach and his team, Ryan, and all those. Very fast is one thing. They know stuff. It is not like they're like a customer service guys. They are true tech guys. So they know what they're doing. And whenever we ask something, they respond pretty fast. I recommend definitely the ATX Defense team for this one. They are very good.
One thing that really stood out to me about when I was interviewing Zach, he said their mission and what really drives him and co-founder and their organization is they want to keep more small businesses in the DIB because they know that CMMC can be that barrier to entry where a lot of organizations may have to make that hard decision, decide they have to leave the DIB because they can't afford it. And he wanted to create a simple solution that was fully managed and just made it a lot more streamlined and almost foolproof to pass the level 2 certification assessment. That really resonated with me as a military veteran, knowing that the work that defense contractors are doing is very important to our national security. Unfortunately, there are organizations out there that's trying to exploit these small businesses, and because they know they're going to have to do CMMC. It's good to see an organization that was focused on really being an advocate for small businesses. Harry, once you saw the price difference between the conventional MSP providers for CMMC, like Microsoft and so forth, what were your thoughts? Were you happy to see the price difference?
Oh, yeah.
Savings.
Yes, because for us, this is a upfront investment. We don't have any devoted active contracts right now. We have done this CMMC certification, keeping in mind we want to go and compete and bring some business. We are confident to bring some business. So since we don't have an active project, there is no active income, and this is an upfront investment for us. So then the moment I see this, the clear picture, what our plan, the cost, and the timeline, that made me very happy and very confident. No second thought. We had our internal meeting, we discussed about it, and then we thought, let's move forward. And that is what we are here today.
Yeah. And that's why it was such a great to just celebrate with you all and to see actual certification on the wall and just know that it's been quite the journey, and to know that, okay, on the other side of it, you all were able to find a cost-effective solution that works for small businesses. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other small businesses who have made that investment in conventional solutions, and it hasn't worked out for them, or it has worked out for them, but it's still just such a significant investment that now it's just impacting other areas of their business as far as growth, innovation, things like that. That's awesome. So talk to us about what was the onboarding process with ATX once you all decided that you're going to use that solution. How was the CBL? You mentioned the customer support has been good, but what was that onboarding process? Was it pretty smooth?
Yeah, onboarding process is pretty smooth. That's what the first thing is. The confidence we got on ATX was like whatever they told on the website, that's what the reality, the price and all. There are no other hidden charges. That's one thing. And next, we had a call with them. Because we had a lot of questions, right, coming from the traditional way.
Yeah.
And they told, no, that's all. This is the one and all. We understood the environment, and they gave the price. And we asked several times, is it anything more than whatever you published on the website? They told, no, that is the price. That's all it is. Everything is transparent. And that's where we got trust on them. And we signed up right away. As Hari mentioned, we signed up. And within a week or so, there are onboarding process where we need to take some training, all instructions on the website. They have very good onboarding documentation is there. What the step-by-step, where to take the training and all. So we did the training, and actually we signed up for 5 users. They gave clear instructions, and we gave our 5 users names and all. Immediately they set it up. Within 1 week, we are ready. We are accessing the digital environment on the Google site. That's what they gave there. Really one verifying all those, and there's a background check, and Hari helped us on that background checks and all. Pretty straightforward. Everything, whatever they mentioned, that's all they do. There is nothing extra there, and a lot of load they are taking, the documentation load and all, they take it. The very, very minimal documentation from our side.
Yeah, that was another thing that surprised me about their solution, because even a lot of the full service Microsoft GCC High solution, those MSPs, they'll provide a solution. Maybe not the policies will be an add-on. They wouldn't necessarily be included. So, Biju, was you excited to see that you're going to inherit all of those policies from ATX and not have to write the policies yourself?
Yeah, I think the way they documented and they explained whatever it is there, especially with the trainings and all that, we are so happy. And the headache of setting up a totally different environment managed by us, things like that is not there. The technical management is much easier as far as the environment is concerned. That's one of the best side of getting the solution from ATX.
Absolutely. As we see with their ATX solution, CMMC space, there is a 1% that is customer responsibility for objectives. And basically what that maps to is just the public sharing, the 3.1.22, for making sure that you all are not sharing CUI or FCI on your public sites like your website or LinkedIn. So that's pretty straightforward. I know they provide you a template. We all worked on that template to just make sure it was customized to Quadyster. So that was pretty straightforward. But yeah, like I say, they deliver on what they advertise, and just the transparency alone is mind blowing because no other organization does that.
And once again, thanks, Derrich. I think throughout this process also, we know what to ask because you are guiding us all the while. So you told, hey, you are going to have a meeting with this ATX, please, these are the questions asked. That gives us a lot more comfort zone, and those questions they answered pretty fast. They are ready for all those things. They're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you got on board, within a week, you all were ready for an assessment. So your assessment ready. What was that process like, contacting C3POs and interviewing the C3POs and some of the various pricing you all were getting quoted for?
Again, for the C3PO, you gave us the contact, the Kimmel Security. He's again very knowledgeable. We got another C3PO also. We contacted two of them. Mm-hmm. Brett is very friendly and knowledgeable and all. He gave us the guidance of what is the expectation and what is the documentation that is needed for the assessment and all. And we talked to him previously in the traditional way about the C3PO assessment versus the ATX Defense way, I can tell. The assessment, it was 50% down, the cost-wise, compared to the one. It was, he understood the environment. He and his team also very knowledgeable. He gave the quote based on understanding because everything is enclaved in that environment that ATX Defense created on Google Cloud. So that removed a lot of controls, that whatever is needed and all that already satisfied. That's where our quote went down from the initial amount, almost 50% down.
Wow. And for the ATX solution CMMC space, it is CMMC Level 2 certified. So like to your point, they've already gone through the certification for that solution. For the C3PO who's performing an assessment, they can essentially just really have to spot check or sample the requirements. They don't have to do a full assessment against a CMMC Level 2 certified solution. And that results in less time that the assessors spend on completing this assessment. And it sounds like you're saying that Kimball Cybersecurity essentially factored that in since you were using a Level 2 certified solution. And you've seen a 50% reduction in the costs compared to other quotes you received?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's nice savings. Yeah, savings. Every dollar counts for a small business.
Oh, yeah, I know. And that is a lot of difference there. And also the Kimmel Cybersecurity, the Brett from that, and the assessment time because of all these things, just 1 or 2 meetings with what is the documentation that is expected. And we had just one day the assessment was done.
Wow. Do you remember how many days it was scheduled for initially?
Initially, it was scheduled for 2 days because one is for Quadyster side and one is for ATX Defense side. And because everything is ready upfront from our side, but that's what ATX took the lot of load. And from whatever we have the documentation, we took only 1 or 2 hours for us and around 2 or 3 hours for the ATX Defense. That's all, everything, all because they have everything, proof and everything ready with them. And after that, within a week, we got certificates.
Pretty impressive. I had the opportunity to be on that assessment call. I think it was started at 9 a.m. They may have maybe less than 30 minutes worth of questions for you all, and you were done. Then ATX, and by lunchtime, he's like, okay, we reconvene at the end of the day to give you our report. And yeah, so like you said, it was less than 1 day, and that's ideal because as an assessor, I've served on several assessment teams where it took 4 or 5 days of just grueling, asking questions and going through all of the 110 requirements, 320 assessment objectives. So for you all to be done in the morning, you can get back to focusing on grow your business, serving your clients instead of being in an assessment.
Yeah. So when we got that certificate and I showed to Biju and Hari, still we were like, is it a dream or is it a real? And then the CMMC certificate when we got it. So because that's what initial our thought process was, whether we will be able to get CMMC certification level 2 or not. And when we got actually the level 2 certification, that's where we were still shocked. With this fast we are getting. Real thanks to Siras, ISU Melissa, and you, Derrich, and ATX Defense, and Brett. So without you guys' support, partnership, we wouldn't have achieved this one.
Definitely a team effort, and big thanks to Melissa and Cirrus, because they have that client relationship with you all. So they introduced Aspire Cyber to Quadyster, and they introduced you all to ATX. So it was trust. It had to be that trust that's been built over the year or two that we've been working together on the training side. And yeah, it was a lot of risk for Melissa to say, okay, yeah, let's try this ATX out. A lot of risk for me as well. So I was just really happy to see it all work out, and you all trusting that we were leading you in the right direction.
Yep.
So, Harry, now y'all have that big, beautiful certificate on the wall in the frame. What's next? How do you plan on leveraging the CMMC Level 2 certification to serve DoD clients?
Our next two steps is we are reaching out. We are more focusing on the business development and reaching out to the contracting officers. As I mentioned earlier, we got 300 contracts. Out of 300, the federal contracts, majority are from DoD.
Okay.
So we have great relationship with our DoD clients, including Army, Air Force, and Navy. And we are reaching out to them, let them aware of we are CMMC certified, and we are going to look for those opportunities which require that certification. And we are going to start working on those opportunities. And that is what our focus. And since we are into these emerging technologies, and we are more emphasizing onto that AI and machine learning and data analytical and cloud technologies, I'm very confident we pretty soon see those kind of opportunities, and we can help the DoD and help them to implement those areas, into the emerging technologies. So
I think y'all's time couldn't be better, because I'm not sure if you heard, but last week, the final part of the CMMC rule, the Title 48 CFR, it cleared the Office of Management and Budget. So that final review, and that was the last hurdle. So now we're anticipating that the final rule, Title 48 CFR, will be published in the Federal Register this week, probably tomorrow or Friday. At that point, once it's published, then CMMC will be in full effect 60 days after that day when it's published. So we're looking at September. We're looking at late October, November, where CMMC will be final rule, and then we'll start to see that 4-phase rollout over the next 3 years with DoD roll out the CMMC requirement in all of its solicitations. The first year is going to be CMMC Level 1 and Level 2 self-assessments. I know a lot of primes are already being proactive about their supply chain and asking them, hey, where are you at with your CMMC compliance journey? And a lot of organizations are just getting started, or they still have a long way to go. But now Quadyster can say, yeah, we're already certified Level 2. And that's going to put you in a really good position. I'm excited for it. Beyond that, what advice would you give to a small business that's just looking to either get into DoD contracting or just kind of starting their CMMC journey? What tips do you have for them?
Yeah, we got a bigger picture, bigger plans, and we are willing to have build a partner ecosystem with other small businesses. And also we are here if anybody need any help. We willing to be a mentor for you, and we can help you out. And also we are putting our efforts reaching out to some of the big players, any subcontracting opportunities we're looking forward. So I think together we can achieve a great success moving forward. And looking forward to seeing expanding our partnerships with other small businesses.
Awesome. Any tips you have, Biju or CBL, for small businesses?
I think small businesses need a good partner when they are traveling through their journey. So A partner like Derrich or Siras and ATX Defense, all will help. At the same time, if they need to speak to somebody who went through this experiences, they can reach out to us. We will be more than happy to answer any of their concerns. Obviously, we have somebody to point them to, which is Derrich.
Yeah, I can tell CMMC Level 2 certification is not a dream anymore. We can make it real for small businesses, and as Hari and Biju are mentioning, partnership with ISU Siras, Melissa, and Derrich from Aspire Cyber, ATX Defense, and Brett from CBL Cyber Security. We can easily achieve this one. They are very good team. They're real guys. They are SMEs, techie guys, and they can answer anything related to CMMC. That's what our recommendation be. Any small.
Good tips.
Yeah, I think it is a major decision for any small business. Once they decide to get that CMMC certification, first thing is contact Derrich. Before you start your journey, I recommend anybody start reaching out to Derrich, and you plan from that point. Derrich will help you.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
Definitely happy to help, especially now that there are affordable, fully managed solutions like ATX, where it just makes my job easy connecting those that need those affordable solutions with the actual solutions. And to that point, there are a lot of conventional organizations in the ecosystem that are not happy about solutions like ATX. So it is kind of a challenge getting past the gatekeepers, but really doing things like this, and as more success stories come out, it's just going to be more and more small businesses finding out that there are alternative solutions. I know in addition to ATX Defense, there are other MSPs who are trying to develop or already launch similar solutions that are more affordable than the conventional ones. So that's good to see. Absolutely. And then beyond that, I would say something that you highlighted on earlier, Gary, when a small business is first deciding on how to address CMMC, whether they're going to do it internally or use a consultant or use cloud solution, I would say for CMMC Level 2, it certainly isn't a DIY project. Even like you all have deep technical expertise, but CMMC is very specialized. So there's so many nuances, and it's beyond just IT. And it really is a matter for the organization to decide if they're going to try to do it internally or if they're going to use a cloud solution or a consultant. To your point, it can help really accelerate your timeline, help you save money versus just trying to figure it out yourself. I know for me, I don't know much about cars. So if my car need repairing, it's going to be a lot cheaper and faster for me to take it to a mechanic than for me to try to look at YouTube videos to figure it out. It's just a matter of finding those trusted partners and relying on those organizations like the Cirrus and the Apex accelerators to identify who are those partners that really have the best interests of those small businesses in mind. I think it's been great. I really appreciate your time today. I know y'all have to get back to servicing your clients, but thank you for taking time to share your story. I hope this gets out to a lot of small businesses and give them hope. Like you said, CBL, it doesn't have to be a nightmare. CMMC, it doesn't have to be crazy expensive. But yeah, definitely seeing other small businesses do it is going to give other organizations that inspiration that they can do it. And like Harry said, if you need support, reach out to them. Willing to mentor or help you along the way. What's it going to take? It's a team sport.
Already people are reaching us, so we are providing the information, what we know and what we went through, and hope that will help them. And I think it started as Melissa was tremendously helping us for the past almost 9-10 years. Yeah.
There we go. The Center for Industrial Research and Service. Yeah, definitely a phenomenal resource for anyone located in Iowa. Like we mentioned, Melissa Barant, she really has a passion for helping small businesses. She was a former contracting officer for DOD. She has a lot of experience. It'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.